Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for my top 5 favorite DC New 52 comic books. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is my top 5 favorite DC New 52 comic books. Recently, me and some friends were discussing the New 52, and we had one friend, I won't name names, but their name rhymed with Galaney. He basically kind of said New 52 sucked, and I was like, whoa, taken aback by that. You know, that being said, New 52 wasn't quite what it was promised to be in the long run, but I really think it started off strong. It was a lot of hype behind it. I had a lot of people excited, and I thought there were some really solid comic book runs from the New 52, and I still think that anybody that says the New 52 overall just kind of stank, they're really not, because there's some really good, solid stuff out there. Now, of course, the New 52 was a revamp and reboot of DC's continuity from the ground up. Basically, they wanted to compress all of their history into 5 years, so when the New 52 started, everything had been in 5 years. So it kind of made some things forced out of continuity, kind of merged some things together. And as far as what the aim of the New 52 was, as far as in story, maybe it didn't quite work itself out so well. But as far as what it meant for business, bringing in new readers, it was very successful at first. And then, of course, it dropped out, and that led to Rebirth, right? However, as I've already said, DC New 52's got some of the most solid superhero mainstream runs of the last 10 to 15 years, and I definitely want to give them a shout out. So here's my top 5 favorite DC New 52 comic books. At number 5, Action Comics by Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison started off Action Comics, and it was the only New 52 book at the time that was actually set 5 years before. So it was a complete reimagining of the origin and introduction of Superman into the DC Universe and Metropolis. And it changed some things, and maybe that threw some people off. Most people didn't like the idea that he was just in the jeans and the t-shirt, but if you read the entire run, it morphs back into the Superman suit. There's a reason for it. I love Grant Morrison's run on Action Comics. I thought, even though he changed some things maybe that you were familiar with from continuity, and mostly from John Byrne continuity, which I love as well, he went back to that golden age root and nature of Superman. He's fighting bullies. He's fighting corrupt politicians. He's fighting slumlords. He can't fly yet. He's running around. He's always got this bold smile on his face. It was filled to the brim with action. The Lex Luthor stuff was great. And of course, it gets cosmic and interdimensional and all kinds of stuff, because it all winds up being a giant mixed Pitalik fifth dimension imp type story, and only a way that Grant Morrison can do. Rags Morales, Andy Kubert, and a whole bunch of other artists were involved in this run. I loved it. I love this youthful, energetic, just bash him up, beat him up Superman. I love the slow burn into a more modern day Superman. I love all the crazy interdimensional cosmic craziness, kookiness that Grant Morrison cooked up. Number 5, Action Comics. Number 4, Swamp Thing by Scott Snyder. Yannick Paquette mostly on the artwork, Marco Rudy as well, and others. Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing was a masterpiece. It was fantastic. It really owes a lot, of course, to the Alan Moore run of Swamp Thing, but it did it in its own voice, in its own unique way. The artwork was amazing and beautiful and organic, with great, awesome layouts and composition, nice double-page spreads. I love the artwork. I love the story. It's a love story. It's a tragic, dark, gothic love story, and that's exactly what Swamp Thing was, or what it morphed into from Alan Moore, and that's what Scott Snyder did. But like I said, with his own stamp on it. This time you have things being a little bit different because of recent events like Brightest Day. Alec Holland is alive now. Now, we know from the Alan Moore Swamp Thing, Alec Holland never actually was Swamp Thing. He literally died, and then the swamp thought it was a man, right? This whole crazy stuff. Snyder kind of flips that around. Now, this newly resurrected Alec Holland, in order to fix the green, has to become willingly Swamp Thing. Fantastic stuff. You got the Rot, Arcane, great stuff. It merged into Animal Man with Jeff Lemire for a little bit. Another great New 52 run that didn't quite make the top 5, but definitely worth checking out. Swamp Thing by Scott Snyder, one of the best, most solid titles from DC New 52. Number 3, Aquaman by Jeff Johns and Ivan Reis. What an amazing Aquaman run. My favorite Aquaman run, period. Aquaman is my favorite DC hero, pretty much. Love me some Aquaman. I love Peter David's Aquaman. I love the stuff from the 80s when he's wearing, that blue suit. I love the goofy Silver Age stuff. I love Aquaman. There has never been an Aquaman run as good as Jeff Johns'. Jeff Johns not only gave Aquaman the proper respect that that hero deserves, he played with the public's perception of Aquaman as just being a joke. So he plays with that in such an effective way. You couple that with Ivan Reis's artwork, majestic, Neil Adams-esque in a way, supremely detailed, great comic book, powerful artwork, great stuff. Then Jeff Johns, what he does, after he establishes how badass Aquaman is, he starts building up not only his rogues gallery, but the mythology and the lore of the Aquaman story, of Atlantis, of Mira, Ocean Master, all these different pieces, Black Manta. It all comes to a head after a crossover with Justice League. It all comes to a head in the Death of the King story, where it gets even deeper into Atlantis' history. Aquaman is so badass, super powerful. He's got that classic look. The artwork is fire. It's such an amazing run. One of the best Aquaman runs ever. If you want to know what all the hype is about with Aquaman, check this run out. At number 2, Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang and others. This is my favorite Wonder Woman comic book ever. Now, I have never been the biggest Wonder Woman fan, but I really love and respect John Byrne's run, George Perez's run, and of course Greg Rucka's runs. Both of them, I love them. But this Brian Azzarello run to me was amazing. It was a completely new twist and take on Diana and her mythology. Great stuff. The interpretations of the Greek pantheon, completely different than what you're used to in the comic books, but filled with rich symbolism and in-depth meaning and metaphor. I absolutely love this run. That clean artwork by Cliff Chiang. Recently, he just completed his run on Paper Girls. I almost said Powder Girls. Paper Girls with Brian Vaughan. However, Brian Azzarello, I used to love Brian Azzarello, hard-boiled crime stuff. When he first got announced to do Wonder Woman, I was kind of worried. I was like, how is he going to do Wonder Woman? I love it. I love the character of Diana. She is a little bit more modern, a little more of an edge to her, but she's still the same Diana that you know and love from all these comic books that you read. I love that artwork. My favorite thing is just the incorporation of the Greek pantheon. And this was the comic book run where you found out that she wasn't necessarily made out of clay and given life, but she's actually legitimately a demigod. She is the daughter of Zeus. That all comes from this run. I'm pretty sure that still stands. It should, because it's a great addition to the lore of Wonder Woman. It made the stakes a little bit higher. Puffed out her rogues gallery a little bit more, because now you could throw in Hades and Apollo and Zeus. Lots of great stuff, new characters, lots of fun, excitement, and adventure. I love it. It's my favorite Wonder Woman run. It's my second DC New 52 run. And at number 1, Batman. Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. I really thought about this one a lot. It was kind of tossed up between Wonder Woman and Batman, but that Batman run, as time has progressed, has actually maintained itself as being one of the best runs on Batman ever. The best artwork I've ever seen from Greg Capullo has been on this Batman run. There were issues that were very innovative and awesome and delicate, and then there were issues that were just fun and absurd and wild. Scott Snyder grew into the writer that he's become in that work, and it spawned off into metal and all kinds of crazy kookiness in his Justice League run. But that Batman run is such a solid Batman run that as it was going on, I wasn't quite appreciating it the way that I do now. Now, of course, when the Court of Owls stuff first came out, everybody was into that. That stuff was amazing and game-changing. Then I started kind of getting, just kind of lost. I'd be like, yeah, 0 Year, it's okay. Oh, Death of the Family, yeah, it's okay. Man, when you go back and you read all that together, especially with how it ties in to Justice League and Metal and everything that he's doing now, I just love it so much. Him and Capullo, they work so well together. This Batman run is dark, it's superhero-y, it's twisted, yet it's still bright and full of hope. It's got a lot of delicate, meaningful things to say about Gotham City, Batman, and his family, and I really think that Snyder and Capullo just did the absolute best job on the New 52 with this Batman run. So what I would say to most people that say the New 52 doesn't have any good stuff, look at these 5 books, in particular that Batman run. You don't like those, and there's even more great stuff from the New 52. I didn't mention OMAC, one of my favorite brief runs from the New 52, but there's lots of fun, cool stuff. That Batman run to me just takes it to another level. It really takes everything that that we know and love about Batman, and it put Snyder's own twist on it. He was doing some great work in the New 52 and beyond. Anyway, that's what I thought. What do you think? What are your top 5 favorite DC New 52 books? Let's know in the comments down below. Let's keep this conversation going. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and join us over at patreon.com/PCP if you want to help support this channel. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading.